J. Stone Audiobooks presents a book opera called The Mental Machine, written, produced, and performed by the Electrifying Mojo, engineered by David Lee.
I shall no longer hold my peace and watch my community be dismantled, one block, one house, one brick, one person at a time. Those of you who can sit back and watch all of those young boys being murdered, and you just let the music play. Take your commercial breaks. Feeding time. Please. I didn't set out to write a book. A book set out to write me. As this book is being released, it's also a book releasing me. For the past 4 months, I have been in virtual seclusion. Did I work on a project? Or did a project work on me? Perhaps both. The saddest moments experienced with this project are that each of the pages from the mental machine are all true. On the night of August 16th, what I thought would be another routine night wasn't. I remembered having been in my bedroom trying to decide whether or not I wanted to go to Canada, to the Edmund Place restaurant, watch CNN all night, or perhaps listen to some music. I decided to go to the Edmund Place restaurant, but I said to myself, I'll just turn the TV on for a moment and watch a little CNN. The next moment that I remembered was at 4 a.m. in the morning, after having experienced one of the most bizarre dreams of my life. Not just bizarre, but graphically colorful and also despicable. It was a dream about genocide. I saw it with my own eyes, and as I floated above the crowd in a bulletproof glass bubble, unable to be affected by the action on the ground, it was my desire while dreaming to communicate with the warring factions that were killing each other, leaving bodies all over the place, to let them know that this was actually genocide, that they were making a lot of mothers so sad. It dawned on me in my dream world that if you are protected from the problem, you may also be precluded from participating in the solution. I woke up after having discovered that I had fallen asleep with all of my clothes on, but also after having had one of the most bizarre dreams of my life. I grabbed a piece of paper that was beside my bed, and I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. It turned out to be the first poem called Mothers in Black. Later that day, when my secretary came in, I had to type it up. I went out on a sales call. While out, I saw a copy of the Detroit News, and it said 11-year-old boy in Highland Park killed in drive-by shooting. And the more I read the story, the more it reminded me of a dream that I'd had hours earlier. After having become totally shocked by the story and how similar it was to a dream that I'd had hours earlier, I made a phone call to the Detroit News where I talked to Luther Keith. He informed me that the story had been written by Irvin Jackson. I later talked to Irvin. He verified that what I had seen in my dream, he had also seen shortly after 9 o'clock that night in Highland Park. After having talked to Luther Keith, he said, fax the poem over to us. We'd like to read it. I did. He called me back 10 minutes later and said, look, we'd like to run this poem in the newspaper. On Thursday, September 9th, 1993, in the On Detroit section, the poem appeared in the paper. Since that time, I've been unable to stop writing and writing and writing.
Electrifying Mojo, a legendary, internationally known and respected disc jockey whose nightly landing on Earth aboard the mothership has become one of the crucial properties of modern-day folklore across the planet. Let's turn the page. The Electrifying Mojo presents a book opera called The Mental Machine. The Mental Machine will be released on hardback in 1994. The Mental Machine. Warning. Parental advisory. The Mental Machine contains no explicit lyrics. The mothership is landing with a book opera called The Mental Machine.
This is Electrifying Mojo, traveling through space and time in search of a tiny star in the Milky Way galaxy called Earth. We're now being tracked, and we're being monitored across the planet. Very shortly, I will make my final descent down to the planet Earth in North America.
In the Air Traffic Control Center, 3 men are anxiously staring at a green radar screen. They are in touch with a commercial jetliner that appears on their screen. But there is also an image on the screen that they don't recognize.
Aries 31, this is Air Traffic Control. You read me?
I read you loud and clear, Control. You have it on your scope.
I do, 31. Do you have visual contact with the aircraft?
He's right on top of me and descending rapidly.
31, you are cleared of Air 45 right.
Start it now. That's the brightest lights I've ever seen.
Can you tell what type of aircraft it is?
I've never seen anything like it.
Is it an Air Force vehicle?
Maybe. I sure doubt it. I think we've got a real UFO.
Now, my ship is ready to land. We'll be on the ground shortly. In the words of the prophet, if this indeed be the hour in which I lift up my lantern, it is not my flame that shall burn therein. Empty and dark shall I raise my lantern, and the guardian of the night shall fill it with oil, and he shall light it also. There are few less brothers on the streets every day. Like a flash of lightning, so quickly they pass this way. If you don't know it, the sisters do. Every single day there are few and fewer good brothers to talk to. They haven't all joined the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or the Marines. They haven't all headed off to college to get that knowledge, sporting cross colors and big car canadians. Check your local funeral parlor, where the doors never stop swinging. Last night, 911 was off the hook. The phones just never stopped ringing. The sound of automatic gunfire was heard all over town. Another mother in black will leave the cemetery looking back at another child shot down. Another doo-wop group singing, "It's so hard to say goodbye." Off to find the guys who shot him, to make another mother cry. Another doo-wop group singing, "It's so hard to say goodbye." Off to find the guys who shot him, to make another mother cry. Mothers in Black, another page from the mental machine. Wish that I could write something bright. I suppose I got overwhelmed by the 11-year-old that died in another drive-by shooting last night. At this exact moment, I bet you, they are trying to find money they never had to spend. Got to buy a brand new suit to bury little Ruben in. I wonder if Ruben ever had a new suit. Is this his first? And yes, his last. Another dreamer for the future, now a child of the past. Another victim of a gun blast. Tuesday, August 17th, 1993. Another page from the mental machine. Mommy to his sisters, daddy to her brothers. A tower of strength, a beacon of light. She's mommy all day. She's daddy all night. Putting the babies to bed with a kiss. Saying, honey, it's gonna be all right. Son, say your prayers. Did you tell your sister good night? Children never ask questions. They all seem to know. Daddy only comes home to regroup from the wild side, across the street from Skid Row. When home is a prison, escape is a gift. How long should you deal with a problem that your soulmate refuses to deal with? So she said, "Sorry, honey, you know we got to go. To stay brings us all a little bit too close to Skid Row. You will only miss us for a moment. A new family of drugs will provide. With love, always, buckle up, my darling, for your magic carpet ride." Mommy, Daddy, Mommy. Another page from the mental machine. Funeral for Mr. E. Life was a mystery, a dream to unfold. With the magic from the discovery, he found a love to have and to hold. When he wasn't on drugs, he was the most beautiful person to know. But he changed into a monster, just one snort and a blow. His IQ was near genius. He could have taken the world by storm. Instead, he took the money, the car, the furniture, the jewelry, and the dreams they had built their lives on. Nightmare after nightmare. The stories go on and on. What started off as a beautiful medley is now such a sad, sad song. His last days were a challenge. His smile turned into a frown. But for the good he did before he took that first blow, 5,000 people showed at the cemetery and lowered his body into the ground. Funeral for Mr. E. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. She stood there right on the corner of 3rd and Lothrop in a brown beat-up dress with her head hung low, staring at yesterday with battered clothing, playing footsies with the rocks. Stood a sad-eyed young girl with a much-traveled face, wearing a blue bonnet covering her dark, fleecy locks. Smile, little girl, I thought, but her face said, no. I have no more pleasures within, none to sell, none to give, nor can I manage your grin. I gave my body, mind, and soul to strangers, and you know what? They each posed as and passed me on to friends. I done got myself in a terrible fix, mister. Don't I look a mess? Out here peddling my bygones in this here old brown beat-up dress. Wanna find my way out of here. I just wanna go back home. But first, I've got to get back to me, the girl who left home alone. I was gonna be a singer. I wanted to be this great big star. I never heard much about my singing, just, oh baby, how beautiful you are. How many more young girls will end up like this, destined to wear a mental scar, playing footsies with the rocks, in their search to be a superstar. Brown beat-up dress, another page from The Mental Machine. While the Rodney King jury was deliberating, and while the trial for the killers of Malice Green was going on, I wonder if anyone was keeping track on how many brothers were killing each other. This page from The Mental Machine
It's called genocide. Who is the master of this madness? Who is the guru from the Krim? Well, they have plotted the perfect genocide. The boys in the hood just kill each other. Who needs the KKK with homies like them? Bang, 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 shoot 'em up. All the graves in the prisons are full. The master of the madness is the hatred inside, the envy on the trigger that says, pull. The guru from the Grim is the voice that says, shoot him. Reach in, grab his keys, take his ride. Guess what? Another dead brother. No. Shot by another victim of genocide. So, now you know, my brother. Another page from the mental machine. A page called Genocide. They say you're too young to die, little brother. You say I'm old enough to kill. The next time they come around saying death row, try him as an adult. What do you really want people to feel? You shoot down pregnant women. You go and brag to your friends. For less than $80, a human life, a mother's life, came to an end. The streets of the city are always cold. Look in their eyes. You can see the pain. Because you're out here for the first time, little brother, that don't mean a thing. You know what they're saying? Burn, baby. Burn. Burn, baby. Burn. $80 Mother. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Goodbye, Ella Benton, Sister Benton, Sister Collier, Brother Collier, Sister Julia, Brother Bob, Mr. Minkins too. Goodbye to the old folk who made our dreams come true. They took nothing and made something and held our world together with glue. They made every poor black boy and girl feel that if they worked twice as hard, they could do it too. The old neighborhood is under a death sentence now, along with the African-American male child. What used to be streets of thousands of beautiful rose bushes and the smell of sweet honeysuckles in the spring and summer are now streets gone wild. When the elderly pass on to glory, their once proud houses just go into shock. Then every other house becomes vacant or a crack house on a once stable block. The people left in the neighborhood become either prey or predator, both eventually becoming a victim of a crime. Angry, unemployed, or too old to fight, too young to know, or too poor to find the time. There was a time, Brother Smith told me, you used to would only hear gunfire on the 4th of July. Now you hear just about every night. A drug deal gone bad, child shot himself, a carjacking, police siren, heading to another drive-by. Miss Zola amid the ashes of her dreams as her neighborhood fades away. Still plants her flowers, late April, early May. On her face, such pride and sternness, framed with gray. In a neatly iron-flowered dress, she said, Lordy, it gets so hot out here. I just sit on the porch and watch the children play. Before you know it gets to fighting. I move back inside. You turn on the news and you hear another child and died. The old men huddle in circles, playing checkers and horseshoe under a big oak tree. Others form a steady procession to the corner liquor store, getting stoned to stay free.
There goes the neighborhood. Another page from the mental machine.
When you're down, that's when you really need to think about getting up. You're already down, so there's no reason to concentrate on that. The only thing you need to think about is how to get up off that ground, how to get up and go for it. When adversity knocks on your door, here's a lesson from a book called The Mental Machine. It's called Adversity. Get up, go for it, fall down again if you must. But don't just lie there on the ground. Call on your inner strength there in the dust. You can never be the first to have fallen, nor the last to have won. Life's list of winners and losers awaits your signal, because at that very moment, you pick the team you're on. At destiny's next confrontation, in your pursuit of a win, should adversity knock on your door, answer it quickly with a grin. Adversity is your teacher in every respect. Losers, it punishes. Winners, it teaches lessons in life. But most of all, winners, it respects. Adversity, another page from the mental machine. Time waits for no one. There's no reason for anyone to wait for time. Now is the time. These are the moments of you and I. Moments of truth, moments of doubt, moments of in, moments of out, moments of happy, moments of blue. These are the moments for me, and these are the moments for you. Moments to go, moments to stay, moments to meditate, moments to pray, moments to work, moments to play. These are the moments of night, and these are the moments of day. Moments to live, moments to die, moments of no can do, but always moments to try, moments to laugh, moments to cry. These are the moments of you and I. Moments, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. How does it feel to be awesome? How does it feel to be deep? How does it feel to be multi-dimensional? How does it feel to be complete? Alluring, mystical, mysterious, penetrating and bright, awesome, invigorating, sensitive, heavenly sight, moving effortlessly and unwavering, replacing night with light. Shine on, sunshine. No need to explain. God is God, and God is flawless. He gave you everything. Everything. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Check out as many want ads as you want to. Check out as many nightclubs as you want to. Parties, social functions, organizational gatherings. Keep looking for that special person that will blow you away. And one day while you're still imprisoned inside of your cocoon, you'll see what you're looking for. And as we turn the pages of the mental machine, we'll find a page called Cocoon. Move into my mind like a honeybee. Pollinate my thoughts. Stay and play with the patience of a fisherman. Just there for the thinking, never mattered what he got. Cruise through my heart like a freeway. Awaken me with a rush. Then let the night turn to morning. After careless whispers turn into a hush. Fly through my space like a butterfly. Free me from my cocoon. Then maybe we could fly away together, light on a rosebud, and stay and watch it bloom. Cocoon, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Where were you when I needed you? When I spent every night alone? Where were you when I spent endless hours just watching my telephone? Where were you when I dialed your number and your machine was always on?
But the wrong time.
Where were you when I decided to go to the movie theater? On the back row, I sat alone. Where were you when the clouds of obscurity were ominous and abound? Where were you when everyone just scattered, when the stage lights went down? Where were you when I had time on my hands? Well, I guess life is not that bizarre. I know where you were. I bet you were wishing on a star. Another page from the mental machine, a page called Wishing on a Star.
My little baby, 15, looking like she's 20, acting like she's 12. A child by day, adult by night. You go, girl. 'Cause you know, girl, you don't need anyone but you. But wait. Who was there when you needed everything? And dried your eyes and kissed your belly button when you were blue? Who was there? Morning, noon, and night. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. On time, all the time. Up before daylight. Who was there to calm you down when life drove you berserk? Remember your first puppy love? You said, "Thanks, Mom. He is a jerk." You go, girl. You throw all of our memories away. But remember, you can never return across the bridges you burn. But my love goes with you every step of the way. You go, girl. Love always. Your mother. Your head is hard as a brick, but Mom is going to pray for you.
Remember the first time you saw each other? Remember the first time you said hello? Remember the first time you exchanged phone numbers? Remember your first date? Remember your first kiss? Remember when you said, "This love will last forever." Just as you dance under the sunlight of love's beams. Sometimes, so must you fade in the moonlight of love's last stand. If ever you should have to leave each other, remember to leave gracefully, with the same finesse that brought you together. Ride off in the sunset with your dignity. When love fades, these are the moments to show pure class and pure character. From a book called The Mental Machine, this page is called The Fade. When harsh words began to be spoken, love's promises of forever and ever began slowly to be broken. Lovers love togetherness when first images are kept, but love loses its attraction when suspicions and contradictions are felt. Even when suspicions are suppressed and contradictions explained and believed, love switches from the main DC power still to battery power. Well, then, affection can gracefully be given and received. Beware, however, when familiar patterns start to go. It's love's indicator light flashing that the battery power is running low. Now, go ahead and use that last power fighting the beginning of the end, or save a little forever and ever, so that you may always remain friends. The Fade, another page from a book called The Mental Machine.
The past is where your memories are. The future is where your dreams are. The present is where your power is. Doesn't matter what happened in the past, because it's gone. It doesn't really matter what you plan to do in the future, because it's not here. What matters most is what you do with right now, because right now is where your power is. Life is like a book, and to keep in tune with destiny, like a book, we must continue to turn the page. Turn the page, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. If the page you're on is filled with regret, your past filled with memories you can't forget, just the thought of them leaves you so upset. The rage on your page is remorse, a realm that growth begets. Turn the page. If you have loved and lost and paid the cost, if you can bear the truth about why you lost, if you can be in charge without being the boss, if you can speak and listen, then pick up where you left off. Turn the page. If you can lose and win without too much of a frown, without too much of a grin, without feeling too left out, without feeling too included in, turn the page. If you can see a need and try to fill it, if you can watch an ant at work and understand that she's busy and not want to kill it, if you can pray to God to bless your soul, and deep down, deep down, deep down, you can feel it, don't turn the page. Don't turn the page. Don't turn the page. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine.
America is still paying the price for having been involved in the Vietnam War. The greatest price is being paid by the men who were there and who were told to defend their country with honor. And they went there to do that. When they came back home, the war came back with them. God is the only force that can permanently separate a soldier from his or her memory. Godspeed. Hold on. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. No one knows all the places you've been, so no one knows all the trouble you've seen. No one knows all the blows you've been dealt, so no one knows all the pain you've felt. No one knows why you chase your blues away. No one knows why you escape every day. No one knows why we were really born, so no one has ever walked in the shoes you've worn. No one knows why roses are red and the sky is blue, so no one can really tell you how much we love you. Wish I could have walked every step with you. I would love to have spent every day on the battlefield too. Now every day this week I've been trying to write this poem. If I were a singer, I would just sing you a song. The war is over, but I know your troubles are still here. The power of God and His love is the only cure. Welcome back home, my brother. You fought and won. You were sent so far away to fight in a war and survive or become an unknown. Victory will be yours again because God is still on the throne. So hold on tight, don't let go. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. There is a real war going on in the streets of Detroit. But not just Detroit, almost every major city in America. And to the warring factions, if you cease fire, you will live to tell. Grow old, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Put down that Uzi, brother. Put down that gun. What good is it going to do you to shoot someone? None. What about your poor mother? What about your daughter or your son, your girlfriend or your wife? What about your father, your brothers and your sisters? What about you? What about your life? Put down that weapon, little brother. That method has been tried by plenty. You're not the first. You're not the last. The list is so long of young brothers so strong, much too many. Most die by the gun themselves on some lonely city street or go to jail for life while the rest just sweat and run. Only a few grow old, save their souls, and have a family, find peace, and raise their own little daughter or son. Grow old, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Crime. How much of it can America stand? Crime. How much of it can Detroit tolerate? Crime. Where can you go to get away from it? Crime. How do you solve the problem of crime? Crime. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Crime is not the most important problem in America. Crime is the most important symptom in America. As long as America chooses to spend billions of dollars on the symptoms and peanuts on the causes, our approach to solving the problem of crime will continue to be the living epitome of the word problematic. The most important problem in the young African American community today, coupled with high unemployment, is a change in the mindset. A change from the mindset that believed that if you worked hard, got a good education, graduated from the right schools, you could become a part of the mainstream economic power structure. One of the great problems we're facing in America today is too many young African American children have lost hope and have watched the disappointment of their parents, their older brothers and sisters, and the people that they have looked up to as heroes become victims of vitriolic mendacity coupled with premeditated, institutionalized, technological racism. To solve the problem of crime in America, we must solve the American credibility problem that has turned the American dream for too many people into the American nightmare. If you've ever wondered why whales beach themselves, I wonder why so many young African American children are killing each other. Deeper still, why do they want to die? Why do they want to die? The problem of crime in America has reached epidemic proportions. The time has come for the President of the United States of America to appoint a Blue Ribbon Commission to study the problems of crime and to find out why young African American children are killing themselves at such an alarming rate. Crime, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. There will come a time when there will be no one to blame but yourself. The time has come when you must take responsibility for your own success or your own failure. Knock down your own barriers. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. There will always be people standing in your way. There will always be people setting up roadblocks. There will always be people who put barriers in your way. On the other hand, there will be other people getting out of your way when they see you coming. There will be other people removing roadblocks. And yes, there will be other people knocking down barriers. Remember, the tallest barrier that will ever be around you is the barrier that you erect. The tallest person that will ever stand in your way is the person that you look at in the mirror every day. The tallest roadblock that you'll ever encounter will be the roadblock that you put there. Knock down the walls that you build around yourself, and you'll find that the other walls are made of paper mache. Knock down your own barriers, and the others will disappear. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Have you ever considered becoming a vegetarian for a day? Mahatma Gandhi, vegetarian. Albert Einstein, vegetarian. This page from The Mental Machine is called Vegetarianism. I dare you to become a vegetarian for a day. I promise you that it won't kill you. Eat only vegetables, no chicken, no fish, and definitely no pork, no beef. During this period, please drink 8 glasses of water per day or more. Whenever you feel the need to drink soda, coffee, wine, beer, whiskey, please increase your water intake as the need will subside. Park your car for a while and try to walk at least a mile or more. While you're walking, try to clear your mind of everything. Just look at the earth, the green grass. And while you're looking at the earth, remember that God put you here in charge of the earth. You're free to make of it a better place. In your silent time, talk to Him. If you should continue this for more than a day, don't say, I am a vegetarian. Just say, I prefer vegetables today. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about another vegetarian you know and love. No matter what you go through in life, never lose your spirit. Because when you lose your spirit, you lose your will to live. You lose your ability to dream. No matter what's happening all around you, never lose your spirit. No matter how adverse conditions are, never lose your spirit. Every once in a while, adversity comes around just to see how sharp you are, to see if you can stand rain. I shall never lose my spirit. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. I have been put up, I have been put down. I've been put in, I have been put out. I never lost my spirit. I have been lost, I have been found. I have been on top, I have been on the ground. I never lost my spirit. To the American African community in America, you must never lose your spirit. We have been sold, we have been bought, we have been enslaved, we have been brave. When we talk about our great ancestors, they never lost their spirit. I have been given, I have been denied, I have been dared, I have been tried. I shall never lose my spirit. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Shut off the TV and read. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Shut off the TV. Don't be afraid to sleep alone tonight. Challenge yourself to face your fears. To be alone is to sleep undisturbed in the arms of God. Just say, "Watch over me." Your prayers He hears. Don't be afraid to awake alone in the morning. Just say, "Thank you for watching over me." And then say a prayer for divine protection for another day. Pray for your family, people you love, your world, and let it be. Don't be afraid at the noon hour. Half the day is gone. Be thankful you can actually walk by yourself, knowing that if you stay in touch with the Master, you'll never walk alone. Don't be afraid to go home in the evening after work. Call a few people that you love. Shut off the TV and read. Take out a yellow pad. Make a list of the real things in life, like God, love, water, food, family, friends. What else do you need? Shut off the TV and read another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Frankly, I would love to see ceasefire signs on every window of every store or every house in the city. We must move beyond the shock stage to this pervasive culture of violence and lawlessness. We must move beyond the outrage stage and the angry stage to the action stage. We must begin to view the violence in our community as a symptom of a larger problem. We can't solve the problems by stomping out the symptoms. We must stomp out the root causes of violence. Throughout history, before any peace accord can be worked out, it has to begin with a ceasefire. Ceasefire Sunday, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. How many times have you and friends gotten together, so angry, so sad, hoping to make each other feel better, thinking of school days and the friends you've lost, the future lawyers, doctors, teachers? What a cost. Let's set aside a monthly Memorial Day in the city. Every first Sunday after service, at every church in town, Let's pay tribute to the fallen children in each community, the little brothers and sisters out there being shot down. Every pastor in the city will say yes to you. Invite Dennis Archer, the city council. I'll come too. Let's do it every first Sunday. We must demand gun control in the city. We hate what they do. We need a citywide ceasefire, a peace that will last. Find out who's running the guns in the city. Find out fast before another friend becomes a victim of a gun blast. Unless we stand together in the present, we shall stand together in the past. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. To lose someone close to you is one of the saddest moments as humans we experience. But it happens much too often to too many people every day in the city. On any given day, at any given section of the city, there are traffic jams from funeral processions with young people on their way to their final resting place. Some you know, some I know. On any given day in the city, on any given night, there's one thing that you can count on. There's a lot of pain. This page from The Mental Machine is called Funeral for a Friend. I heard a very wise bishop at a funeral he had to preach, trying to dry the eyes of a sad family with words of comfort they could find in his speech. Bishop Husband said, "Go ahead and cry. I'm gonna cry right along with you. But don't cry for Sister Haney, whatever you do. Cry for a world who's unsure of who to pray to." As the bishop, I travel a lot. I'm always at airports. I'm always with families crying and saying goodbye. I hear them saying, "I love you. I'm gonna miss you, mother, father, son, daughter, or honey." I feel sad. Then I cry. Please don't worry about this traveler. At the next airport, old family is already on the way. At this airport, I know it's a challenge, but remember, you will meet again someday. When the plane speeds for takeoff, close your eyes and pray. Pray for God to comfort, protect, and bless you. He is able to dry your tears away. When the big jet begins to slow down a bit in its final descent for another landing, the same passenger that you wave goodbye to today will be the first in the aisle standing. At the next airport, there will be another crowd waiting. Loved ones that haven't been around for a very long while. Everybody will be smiling, hugging, kissing, and shouting. And the land with the man who can turn a frown into a smile. Funeral for a Friend. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. This poem is dedicated to the memory of Mr. Joseph Gordy, 98 years old, who died in a car accident while returning from deer hunting. I bet you hate putting on that tough guy look every time you get out of your car to go into a party store. Every time you get out of your car, someone is always approaching you. "Can you spare a little change, sister? Can you spare a little change, brother?" A month ago, I went to a party store right off the Lodge Freeway in West Grand Boulevard. I stuck my hands in my long leather coat, gave him that real tough look. He backed up. You know the look, like I might be carrying a gun. Look, After I finished my shopping in the store, I bought the guy a loaf of bread, a pound of bologna, and a pop. When I came out, I gave it to him. Someone came up and said, "Hey, Mojo, don't you suppose to be on the air, man?" I said, "Yeah, I'm on the air." This brother just dropped the food I had just given him. I said, "Mojo, man, remember me? I'm the guy that used to help you bring your records into the Latin Quarter. Remember when you used to ride that motorcycle across the stage?" And I did remember him. But it was really bad seeing him like that. It wasn't long ago. He was a student on his way out to conquer the world. Along the way, he got conquered. To the high school students out there, whatever you do, do not drop out of high school. Do not drop out of school. City, Country City, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Street corner serenaders, dancing under the lights, singing their melodies to the moon, almost every Friday and Saturday night. The street corners are littered with signs reading, "We'll work for food." Panhandlers in front of McDonald's, hustling customers not in the mood. What do they have to live for? In a world where hope is suppressed, the fast money comes so fast, but even faster it goes. In high-crime neighborhoods, life is a series of highs and lows. The first of the month, the eagle flies. Everyone has a little money to spend. It comes so slowly, but it goes so quickly. Then they're broke again. Wish I could whisper a word of wisdom, even spare a little change, and I might. But I would rather teach you how to fish today, tomorrow, and forever, so that you could keep your dignity tonight. City, Country City, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. When I was a little boy, I asked Mama Lucy to tell me about slavery. She told me that as far as she knew, we could be related. She said that slave children got sold off from each other, sometimes never saw each other again. I said, "Mama Lucy, you mean real brothers and sisters?" She said, "Yeah, Charles, our folks been treated bad." She said, "I want you to get a good education, because once you put it in your head, Charles, it belongs to you, and no one can ever take it away." Silent knowledge, another page from The Mental Machine, dedicated to the memory of Mama Lucy and Uncle Charlie. Your great-great-grandfather and my great-great-grandmother were sisters and brothers, born together as kin, barely becoming friends, seeing each other only briefly, hiding behind the cotton gin. Both were so young at the slave auction, each heading in different directions as they started to cry. But red eyes, teardrops, and bowed heads said, "I will always love you. See you in the by and by." The silent knowledge of a family is something that children could never forget. Knowing that they would never see each other again left them filled with regret. As the years passed, "I know I got a brother somewhere," the sister would always say. But is that him out there chopping cotton, baling hay for no pay? Or is he the one who got a shot the other day? Silent knowledge, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. When I was growing up, I used to love the old gold spin filters TV commercial. I used to love the Marlboro commercial too. I owe my early awareness, however, to the dangers of cigarette smoking to comedian Dick Gregory. He was speaking on a university campus. He said, "You know when they had that big cowboy riding through town,
on that big horse saying, "This is Marlboro country," they should tell the truth and have him riding through the local cemetery saying, "This is Marlboro country." I feel very sad when I see people taking that long drag on a cigarette, slowly letting it loop out in the shape of a ring of O's. And I say to myself, well, you're just blowing yourself away. No smoking in the next world, please. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Tell me, did you really want it? Isn't it all a joke? You work your butt off to prove that you were twice as good, but now you're just letting it all blow up in smoke. The dream to live and be happy in the land of the free. A fine house, a big car, a great job. Hey, you did it all on a wing and a prayer. You sweated for that degree. Go ahead, light up another one. The logic, well, you say, it calms you down. I just hope that they drive calmly and slowly on the outskirts of town as another success story is gently lowered into the ground. Such a shame. The brothers and the sisters really need you. They need your strategy for making it through the night. Because in the ghettos, they are locked into a cycle of madness. At the end of the tunnel, there is only a cigarette light. Oh yes, and by the way, no smoking in the next world, please. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Excuse me. What is love? Love is the mutual merging of your thoughts, hopes, dreams, and desires, your minds, bodies, and souls together. It is a combination of both pleasure and pain, togetherness and separation, forgiveness and the renewal of trust, tears and laughter, promise and regret. The lightning of love will strike you so that you will feel love's fire. And the thunder of love will shake you so that you will feel love's power. For love is lightning and thunder. After the lightning and the thunder, love reigns so that it can delight you with its rainbow. If you make it to the end of the rainbow, you will find a pot of gold for your soul. If you fail to get to the end of the rainbow, and all you have left are memories, then listen very carefully to memories. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Are your memories better than your reality? Is it hard to forget? When you compare the past to the present, is it hard for you to stay in check? Intimate friends on the while, talking until the early morning light, never getting enough of each other, eventually spending every night. The season of passion crossed the border, and a new season dawned. It wiped away the foundation that every day and every night was built on. Seasons change for all lovers, from fall to winter and spring. But remember, in the summer of your love, you should try to do everything. Memories, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. The Mental Machine, from a book called The Mental Machine. I know for a fact that loneliness is an illusion. It's simply not real. It is only a blockage of the real power that you possess when you fail to listen to your inner voice. That voice that tells your spirit in unequivocal language what's right
and what's wrong. When you choose to make your own decisions, disregarding the messages on your mental machine, you sometimes find yourself and your spirit deep down in the abyss. You can block the calls of people who just don't get it. But the calls from you must answer, because they are as old as yesterday, but as fresh as right now. The Mental Machine, from a book called The Mental Machine. Loneliness is forever an illusion. It's just you not getting back to you. Happiness is your inner power unblocked. You pick me up when you're feeling blue. Go ahead and block the calls of people who just don't get it. Grab it quickly for the voice that soothes. You say to yourself, the pager, the voicemail, and the machine will greet the others, especially those who give you the blues. Loneliness is a longing. It is only you trying to get through to you. It's your inner power in a state of frustration, unhappy about the messages on your mental machine that you do not wish to respond to. So if you're depressed, if you have a headache, if you're under pressure, if you're stressed, make a list of all of the messages on your mental machine that you have not answered. And when you do, life is a piece of cake. The Mental Machine, another page from a book called The Mental Machine. The moments that I have spent inside or becoming the mental machine have been some of the most fascinating, assuring, and reassuring moments of my life. The saddest moments experienced with this project were that each of the pages of the mental machine were all derived from true experiences. The happiest moments have been the unlimited availability of all of the hard-end software I needed to bring this book to life. My deepest thanks goes to God, first for having chosen me as the medium for some of the most crucial sociological statements facing us at this hour. I know for a fact that a perpetual state of genocide on multiple levels is now in full effect for African American males. There is wholesale destruction in the community. While we have some of the most serious problems we've ever faced, we also have some of the most interesting challenges that are awaiting us. Onward and forward to the adventure and to the solutions, Godspeed. The farewell moments have arrived, and I must retire and return to sleep now. The birds are no longer singing their melody in the tree right outside my window. Anyway, I have shared with you in the most expeditious manner messages that I was chosen to deliver unto you from He that knows all. For the past months, most of my days and nights were spent alone, with much solitude and many mental encounters of the third kind. I shall view everything that has happened to me and with me as a sign from the celestial overseer of all things, as reminders that when you do His will, you will never walk alone. Another dream is calling out to me now, and I shall answer it. If the Spirit should find me worthy, I shall come again on another December day of another year with the return of the mental machine. Thank you, Jesus. Praise God. Amen.
The Electrifying Mojo is now heading back to his ship. In 1994, the Mental Machine hardback will be released with cassettes and full illustrations. His ship is ready to depart now.
If you listen carefully, you can hear the noise in the distance. The mothership is returning to take me away. and I must embark. It has been wonderful, it has been beautiful, it has been exhilarating. It has been real. Now I must board my ship for another journey through time and space. They're beeping me even as I speak. Hold on tight. Don't let go. Whenever you feel like you're nearing the end of your rope, don't slide off. Tie a knot. Keep hanging. Keep remembering that it ain't nobody bad like you. If the journey of 1,000 miles is to begin, it must begin with that first step. I have miles to go before I sleep. This is Electrifying Mojo. I have prepared my ship for takeoff. And now we're ready for hyperspace. Commence hyperspace. The great prophet once said, love knows not its own depth until the hour of separation. I leave you with the sadness now, as my ship has just exited Earth's atmosphere. But know that one day I shall return to you as you try to perfect your society. Absolutely perfect your relationship with your children. Give not all to your children. They will get a false impression of life. They will feel that all of their desires of the world will come knocking at their door without sacrifice. Invest in their future with your own time. It's the most you or anyone could ever give. Teach them to join the procession of those who work. In doing this, you truly teach them how to live. Teach them how to fly when the nest is nearby. If they should fall, they will land on your wings. Make sure they know that these are life's special moments. Moments to learn, moments to smile, moments that love brings. Absolutely the last page from a book called The Mental Machine. Absolutely. The first and last thanks after God goes to my parents, William and Laura Johnson, and to my co-parents, who were always there, the late Reverend C.L. and Sister Alberta Benton. My thanks to Rhonda for her never-ending dedication on the computer. That sister's fingers got the work out of their life. David Lee, one of the most awesome production men in the country. Thank you for your guest appearance on Genocide and also for your continuing perpetual state of awesomeness. Thanks to Yasmin Denali for the reading of You Go Girl superbly, and for the telephone voice on Wishing on a Star. Special thanks to Mike Cooper, who's a genius, for artistically capturing and duplicating the feelings behind each poem with the most touching illustrations. These poems and illustrations have become twins for sure. And to Mr. Moses McKinley, whose in-depth and insightful ability to put thoughts on a canvas. It was God whispering in your ear, and it was the vibrations that your ear gave to your brush that allowed you to paint the canvas from the caves to the graves. Many thanks to the unnamed individuals who offered me their pain in exchange for poetic understanding, and to the others who listened to many of the poems over and over and over. I would love to name names, but pain is a private thing. I can tell you for a fact, I've already met more than my share of mothers in black. This book is dedicated to my parents, Mr. and Mrs. William and Laura Johnson, Clinton and family, Roy and family, James and family, DeArthur and family, Laverne and family, Samuel and family, June and family, Freddie and family, Edna and family, Mary and family, Quinn Esther and family, Preston and family, and to Uncle James in Baldwin and his wife Irene. This book is dedicated to the memory of my brother Theophilus, my sister Brenda, Reverend C.L., and Sister Alberta Benton, to
to my nephew Ray Johnson, Aunt Mary, Aunt Ethel, Aunt Annie B, Uncle PJ, and Uncle IJ. A very special dedication to Ruben Elder, the child that I met in a dream whose death activated the mental machine. God is fed up, my brothers. A final dedication to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., more than a crusader for human justice, perhaps one of the greatest theologians since Christ and the disciples. Even from the grave, your power is forever potent in the hearts of men. Amazing grace on a flute. Let me thank my co-pilots, George Hill, Horatio Graham, Wendell Burke, and Air Ace Michael Knight. And now, I must thank the president of WGPR Radio Incorporated, Mr. George Matthews, for allowing me the space to return to Earth. Also to Mr. Dogan and to Mr. Joe Spencer. Coming on the big screen of your imagination, the return of the mental machine. Here are a few excerpts from the return of the mental machine. I met an African lady the other day. She came from an African country. She spoke an African language. She came from an African culture. She had African customs. And she loved only African food. She had just become an American citizen. And she said, now, I'm a real African American. And I thought to myself, well, where does that leave me? Did eating at the Blue Nile once a month satisfy it? Or did an African name alone satisfy it? Owning a kente cloth? Did observing all of the days of Kwanzaa satisfy it? Learning a little bit of Swahili? Or making a trip to the Gold Coast? Then I asked myself, where on the continent Africa could I go and escape being called an American? Because of my cultural characteristics. And where in the world would I want to go and escape being called an African? Because of the blood of my ancient ancestors. I conducted my own chronological investigation and applied my own analytical concepts to the subject. And it dawned on me that when the slaves were brought to America, for as long as they maintained the languages of the homeland, for as long as they maintained the traditions of the homeland, in mind, in body, and in spirit, they were Africans in America. Culturally, ethnically, biologically, Africans, geographically, Americans. Their descendants would become Americans. Culturally, Americans. Ancestrally, biologically. To a great percentage, many would remain Africans. An American African. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. Biological derivatives from an African shore. Behind the mist of time, come, let your mind soar. Captives from African nations, the great slave ships bore. Men, women, boys, and girls, ripped from the soul of Africa's interior. The slave ships bearing Africans throughout the Americas docked, dropping human cargo from the South Atlantic up to Plymouth Rock. Africans coming to America with their customs and languages mentally locked would then give birth to the American Euro-African paradox. Some 400 years later, the years of cultural deprivation have taken their toll. From the slave yards to the graveyards to the California sands. From the cotton fields to the killing fields. From the factories to the streets. Up here stranded in the north, south, east, and west are millions of American Africans. An American African. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine.
I don't know. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. The next time you find yourself in a quagmire for whatever reason, maybe you got fired, maybe you didn't get the promotion, maybe you had a car accident, maybe you got bad news on the telephone, maybe you got turned down for a new car loan or a house. The worst thing you can do is sit there and succumb to pressure. I don't know. Another page from The Mental Machine. I don't know what I'm going to do now, but I know that I'm not going to just sit here. I don't know what I'm going to discover by getting out, but I do know that only gridlock comes from fear. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I will meet each new challenge with courage every day. I'm not going to go down without a fight. No, not without a fight. Rumors of my doom are hearsay. It's true, there is no sunshine in my world today. I guess it's just my week for the rain to fall. But to the seeds buried beneath the earth, a raindrop is love and a promise of the sun, Mother Nature's wake-up call. I don't know. Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. You probably heard the expression, dreams are the wings of the mind. I've found that it's not just an expression. It's actually true. Because unless you are able to dream, it's impossible for the mind to fly. It's impossible for the mind to stay alive unless you dream. Without a dream, you're just an empty shell waiting to be cracked. A mushroom waiting to be crushed. A puddle of water on a hot day waiting to evaporate. Without a dream, don't expect to be here long. If you want to live, if you want to stay alive, if you want to prosper, not just survive, you must dream great dreams. Dreams are the wings of the mind, and it's flight time. Will you just dream today? Another page from a book called The Mental Machine. The great ones who got us dreaming may not be the victors at all. The victors are the people who just believed and dreamed. The small who then stood tall. The great ones who dared us to dream, though gone, are not far away. They just look down from the sky and cry and ask, will you just dream today? We must become our brother's keeper, just to keep our dreams alive. We must dream of a world without stupid people. Ignorance must not survive. We must dream of a world without guns and war. The tools of fools must go. We must recreate our schools and universities, not cells, jails, and death row. The great ones who got us dreaming are not that far away. They just look down from the sky and cry and beg, will you just dream today? Will you just dream today? Another page from a book called The Mental Machine.
to the nations of the world. On the night sky, the great canvas of time, with words, music, and moods, I paint. Wisdom, beauty, and truth need never to experience restraint. Our actions must not represent the darkness of the past. They must fulfill the demands of the present, the hopes of the future, and the dreams of mankind. We must not seek to be only awesome in spirit. We must recapture the glow of angels. We present the final page of the mental machine, Your Majesty. Your Majesty walks among you, my beloved, a giver and a receiver of your truth. As God gives to us, we must give back to each other. The wizened elders must return the truth to the youth. Let my life be as a lyric to a song, my beloved, an evocation of right in a world full of wrong, an act of engagement, not Custer's last stand. And to the silent beloved, little girl, be a woman, little boy, be a man. My day is ending, and God has blessed me. I must get ready to move with the tide. Though the waves have been rough and bumpy, adversity has taught me, my beloved, to thank God for the ride. Your Majesty leaves you now. He is headed back out to sea. Though he shall never forget that it was reciprocal truth, the words we shared were words that made us free. Your Majesty, the final page from a book called The Mental Machine. There are two races on the face of the earth, the human race and the rat race. Which one are you in? If you take the front cover of the Mental Machine box and point it toward the sun, you will see a rainbow. And Steady War no more. Keystone Audiobooks has presented The Mental Machine. During the making of The Mental Machine, the person that was probably most responsible passed away. This project, all of my efforts, and all of the collective love of your family, dear author, has been dedicated to you, and for all of the things that you inspired, for all of the things that you've ever dreamt about and wished that were possible. We will dedicate the rest of our lives to making your dreams come true, because, in my opinion, you dreamt the most beautiful dreams. I remember what you told me a long time ago when I was a kid. Keep on striving, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. What I learned from that, Diava, is that odds are illusions. Efforts are real, and reality is the uttermost. The other night, I had a dream about you. I dreamt of you with the wings of angels, landing in a field of flowers. And as you continue your pursuits, your acrobatic awesomeness, may your spirit find peace as you fly across the sun.